100 million sea animals die each year because of ocean plastic pollution. I'm sure none of us here would enjoy drinking a glass of water and in the process, ingesting thousands of microplastic particles. Sea animals are attracted to the shiny plastics floating in the water and thinking that they are bugs or fish, they eat them. The plastics fill them up and make them feel full and satisfied. The sea animals then die of starvation, having no real nutrients. The only way to stop this never-ending cycle is to slow the use of plastics. People use plastics every day and more than they realize. People are unaware of how the plastic they use affects the environment. You may think using a plastic straw every day might not affect the ocean, but everyone doing that every day adds up. To start, people should understand how the plastic they use every day negatively affects the environment we live in. I have used plastics every day and it never occurred to me what an impact such a small thing could make. In order to save our planet, we need to slow the use of plastics and clean up the mess we have made. Today, I will tell you about the impact plastics have on the earth and how we can stop it. Let's begin by discussing the major problem with overuse of plastics. Overuse of plastics is destroying the environment. Before we dive in, we need to know what constitutes as the overuse of plastic. According to Ediquire and their article titled "The Scourge of Plastic Solution," dated from 2018, overuse of plastic is when it is used often and every day and we depend on it and we don't recycle it after it is used to be used again. Now that we know what the overuse of plastic is, let's look at the negative impact it has on the environment.
Oh, this thing's in the way.
Plastic pollution is a big problem for the environment. Plastics pollute our oceans, kill wildlife, and clog our landfills. Eventually, most plastics, including recycled plastics, end up in landfills or as litter, where they'll remain for hundreds of years. Thankfully, Enso has the solution. It's called Enso Restore, the first plastics that are both recyclable and biodegradable. Here's how we do it. Biodegradable plastic products are made by mixing Enso Restore with standard plastic resins during the manufacturing process. Once the plastic product has been made, it is filled or packaged with your favorite product and sent to a store for purchase. When emptied or finished, and where possible, the plastic should be recycled. But that's not always the case. If plastic enhanced with Enso Restore should end up here, in landfill, and gets buried along with other trash, the organic material inside our additive attracts tiny microbes to the plastic. Microbes love plastics enhanced with Enso Restore. They secrete special enzymes, which turn the plastic into their favorite food, carbon, which they use for energy. The microbes completely digest plastics enhanced with Enso Restore, leaving behind only natural soil and gases. Just like a decaying tree, plastics enhanced with Enso Restore become part of the natural cycle of life. Whether plastics end up recycled or part of the waste stream, plastics treated with Enso Restore are the ideal environmental solution. Plastics make it possible. Enso makes it responsible. So, on your next purchase, look for the Enso logo. You'll know you're doing the right thing.
According to the website Impact Hub, Plastics, the Problem and Its Impact by Melissa Smith, dated 2019, by 2050 there will be more plastic in the ocean than fish. In the United States, 14% of plastics are recycled, the rest going to landfills and polluting the environment. Most of plastic products are used for short as 10 minutes and take 450 years to decompose. According to National Geographic, in an article titled "We Depend on Plastic, Now We're Drowning in It," dated 2018, it says that without plastic, our world would be nowhere. Our cars are lighter, parts cheaper, we have smartphones, we have cheaper medical supplies. Having to use plastic isn't bad, but the fact that we don't take care of it when we're done is the problem we are facing. Another cause to this problem is the fast-paced society we live in today. Instead of taking time to grab our reusable water bottles or make coffee at our own houses with our own reusable mugs, we grab a coffee on the go from a chain coffee shop. Instead of making our own lunch at home and taking it with us, we order fast food, dispose of the wrappers. According to NRDC magazine, in an article titled Fast Food Trash Nation, Time to Cut Down on Packaging Waste, it says that if we recycled the plastic that comes from fast food alone, it would be worth $11.1 billion. Single-use beverage cups and packaging containers are the prime source of the 269,000 tons of plastic pollutants floating around in the ocean. In the United States, we have the lowest recycling rate, recycling less than half of our plastic waste. The final cause to this problem is that people are not aware of the alternative options to plastic products. Many restaurants offer paper straws and metal silverware. Starbucks, for example, you can bring your own cup to the restaurant and they will put your drink in there for you. There are many alternatives for using plastic. Now that we understand the issue, I can tell you a very simple solution to this all. How we can slow the use of plastics.
This is New York City's main recycling facility. We take in all of the residential recycling in bins and bags throughout the 5 boroughs. Comes here and we sort it out.
That video I just showed you showed a little bit of the largest recycling system in the United States. It is important to stop the overuse of plastic now while the mess could still be made up. During the pandemic, some tips may be hard to follow, but there is always a way you can help. According to Ocean Society magazine, in an article titled Ways You Can Reduce Plastic Pollution by Rick Johnson, dated 2020, there are many ways you can reduce ocean pollution. You can reduce your single-use plastics, for example, by limiting the number of disposable plastic grocery bags. You can get reusable bags or do something as simple as using the plastic bags in a trash bin. If it's hard for you to recycle, you can simply refuse the items in the first place. Another way you can slow the use of plastics is by participating in garbage cleanups. Participating in a cleanup is something simple everyone can do. A magazine called Columbia features an article from 2018 called Slow the Plastic Invasion. It says garbage cleanups are one of the most helpful things you can do. Though it doesn't fix the plastic in the ocean, it stops for more plastic ending up in the ocean. Even if you can't participate in that event, just picking up any garbage you come across can help. One other way you can slow plastic use is shopping local. This may seem unrelated, but it is a huge advantage. By shopping at local farmers markets or shops, there's less packaging. Instead of vegetables having to be shipped and packaged, they are just brought into town with less packaging and bought right from inside town. If you live somewhere like me though, the farmers markets are bare and it doesn't have all the groceries you will need. In this case, you get what you can at the farmers market and use other simple tips on the items you can't find at the farmers market. This is a picture of an exchange at a farmer's market. You can notice that there is minimal plastic on the vegetables they are buying, and the exchange is fast and easy. During this pandemic, another thing that is a problem is sanitization. Right now, restaurants are using more plastic than ever to try and stop the spread. Instead of making everything hands-on, they're giving plastic-wrapped, disposable everything. To help with this, try eating at home or bring your own silverware. I'm going to recap on what I've told you. In order to stop ocean pollution, we need to slow the use of plastics. I gave you many tips on how to slow your use of plastic individually and how it can help impact the plastic problem we have currently. So next time you go out to eat and you're offered a straw or disposable fork, will you decline?